A quick disclaimer about this video. This video is not to teach you how to crochet. This video is to teach you how to crochet this ice cream cone keychain. Otherwise, this video will take forever from trying to teach you how to crochet at the same time. It's just not going to work. So enjoy this video. Hope you can crochet your own little keychain, and let's get started. Before we do anything, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button. So you're going to need some pink yarn for the ice cream, some brown for the cone, some polyfill. You're going to need a needle, a 3mm crochet hook, and some scissors. So let's get started. Okay, taking some cafe latte yarn, you're gonna chain 2. And then in that first chain, you're gonna do 6 single crochets. And don't forget your stitch marker if you're gonna work in a continuous round. Now in this second round, we're gonna do even single crochet. Work your first single crochet and put your stitch marker in, and continue doing single crochet. Now for our third row, we're going to take our stitch marker out, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. And we're going to continue that pattern through this row. If you're working with a stitch marker, make sure you put that in. For our 4th and 5th row, we're just going to evenly single crochet. After this row, we should have 12 single crochets all the way around. Now, moving on to our 6th round, we're going to do 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. Now with our 7th and 8th row, we're going to evenly single crochet. Now we can kind of start seeing this cone shape here. Remove your marker, and for the 9th row, we're going to do 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around for this row. So by the end of this row, which is row number 9, we should have 24 single crochets all the way around. Now we're going to be starting with row or round number 10 and 11, and for those two rows we're going to do an even single crochet. Now for row number 12, we're going to cut this last string that we have from row number 11, and so now for row number 12 we're going to attach our ice cream color, whatever ice cream color you're going to use. I used pink, so I'm going to attach that now. And now for round number 12, using your ice cream color, remove your stitch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to evenly single crochet all the way around. Okay, this row is very pivotal because if we don't do this row right, we're not going to be able to do the little ice cream scoop dribbles on the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to work in the back stitch of this round, and we're just going to evenly single crochet, but only in the back stitch of this row. So make sure you're putting in your stitch markers when you need it, and just evenly single crochet in the back loops in this row. You're going to start seeing a line here, and you see that line? Those are going to be skip stitches that we're going to use later on. That's how you know you're doing it right. So now what I'm doing here is I'm pulling this first piece of string that we have that's on the bottom of the cone, and what that does is it closes out the bottom. So removing your stitch marker, we're going to be working on rows 14 through 17, and we're going to be working in both loops on these rows, and then we're just going to evenly single crochet all the way around for row 14 through 17. Now at this point we're going to be using our polyfill, and we're going to start filling the void inside of this cone so it can get nice, cute, and puffy and squishy. Now this is our decrease row. So what we're going to do for this row number 18, we're going to single crochet decrease the next 2 stitches together, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now repeat that pattern all the way around. Now moving on to round number 19, we're going to do the same thing but a little bit different. So we're going to single crochet decrease the next 2 stitches together, and then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and repeat that pattern all the way around for this row. Don't forget to keep stuffing the ice cream cone with the polyfill, because otherwise you're going to keep decreasing and this hole is going to close on you and you're not going to be able to put any more filling in there at all. So just keep stuffing as you go. Now for row number 20 or round number 20, we're going to single crochet decrease all the way around, and then the hole will get a little bit smaller. Now at this point you can cut your string enough so that you can sew with. And what I'm doing here is just doing a simple slip stitch just to end off that yarn there. And I'm going to thread it onto this needle and I'm going to sew the hole closed. And what I like to do, instead of just cutting this piece of yarn so short, I like to just thread it through and just keep going with the sewing it in, so that it's not a little tiny piece of string inside that can come unraveled later on. So you're going to go ahead and cut that. And then you're going to do the same thing for the bottom of the cone with the brown yarn. You're going to sew that through so that the end is just not sitting there hanging loose, because that doesn't really look all that cute. A little technique I like to use is my needle. I take it and I pull it just to pull the cone a little bit, just to make it more pointy at the end, because that's what an ice cream cone is supposed to look like. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to our little ice cream cone drips that I was talking about earlier. So right here is round number 13 with our skip stitches here. And you see how we have a little loop that we can work with? That's what we're going to be crocheting on. Now turn your ice cream cone upside down, and you can attach your pink yarn into any stitch on that row that is loose of row number 13, and you just attach it with a single crochet. So for this row, in order to get this shape that we're looking for, in the first stitch we're going to do a single crochet, and then in the next stitch we're going to do 4 single crochets. And so what that does, it gives it a little bit of a wave. You'll start to see it later on. So that's 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then the stitch next to it we're going to do 4 single crochets in 1 stitch. Do that sequence all the way around and you'll start to see your wave. So as you can see at this point, you start to get that wavy pattern, and that's what we're looking for. So continue doing that all the way around till you get to the end of this round. So what had happened was, I thought I was recording, but apparently it was not. You know, hey, it happens to the best of us. All I did was sew on a keychain ring. You guys don't need to know how to do that, right? But anyway, there will be a link to the pattern below in the description box. I hope you guys were able to make your own keychain rings. If you did, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see it. Thank you for watching.